In the golden city of Lanka, where the waves of the vast ocean whispered tales of power and destiny, there ruled a mighty king, Ravana. A warrior, a scholar, a master of the Vedas, and a ruler feared across realms. His 10 heads symbolized his supreme intelligence, but also his immense pride. Yet beneath this arrogance, Ravana held an undying devotion to Lord Shiva, the supreme destroyer. His mother, Kaikasi, a true devotee of Shiva, would spend hours in prayer, seeking divine blessings for her son. Seeing her devotion, Ravana wished to bring Mount Kailash, Shiva's sacred abode, to Lanka, so his mother's prayers would always be heard. With fire in his eyes and unmatched strength, Ravana planted his feet firmly on the ground, dug his powerful arms beneath Mount Kailash, and let out a deafening roar. The earth quaked, the rivers trembled, and the heavens darkened. The cosmos itself seemed to shudder at his arrogance. Yet, far above, seated in deep meditation, Shiva remained unmoved. When the disturbance reached him, he opened his celestial eyes and, with the simplest of gestures, pressed his toe down upon the mountain. A force unlike any Ravana had ever known crushed him beneath the weight of Mount Kailash. His body trembled, his bones groaned, and his spirit wavered. The same strength that had conquered kingdoms was now powerless against the might of Mahadev. Trapped beneath the mountain, Ravana's pride shattered. He understood his mistake. Not strength, not power, but humility and devotion were the true paths to divinity. His arrogance had led him to challenge Shiva, but now, beneath the weight of his actions, he discovered something greater. He could not move. He could not even lift his hands to pray. But his heart still burned with devotion. So, in an act of sheer surrender, Ravana severed one of his heads and turned it into a veena, a divine instrument. With his own nerves as strings and his soul as the melody, he began to sing. His voice, once filled with pride, now carried pure devotion. Each note he played was not a demand but a plea for forgiveness. The music pierced through the mountains, traveled through the cosmos, and reached the ears of Mahadev himself. Shiva, hearing the depth of Ravana's remorse and devotion, smiled. With a mere thought, he lifted his toe, and the mountain rose. Ravana, battered but enlightened, emerged from beneath it, not as the arrogant king he once was, but as a man reborn in wisdom. Mahadev, pleased with his devotion, granted him the Chandrahas, a celestial sword, a symbol of power and divine favor. But more than that, Shiva gave him a lesson. Power without humility is destruction, but devotion with surrender is liberation. From that day forward, Ravana ruled not just with strength, but with wisdom. His story became a legend, a reminder that even the greatest of beings must bow before true divinity, and that redemption lies in surrendering pride at the feet of devotion. Remember, even the greatest can fall, but those who learn rise even higher.